Alright guys, next update, I'm going to be changing out the main jets in my carbs here. So the stocks are I think 100s on this 550s, I'm going to be going to a 110. The reason for doing that is because I'm going to be running pod filters, so more air in means you need more fuel. So I'm going to add a little bit bigger main jets. It's really easy to do, especially if you have the carburetors out already. I'm just going to pull the 4 Phillips head screws out, and then literally the main jets are right there, and these are kind of push-in jets, they're not screw-in. So I don't know if you can see on there, but they have a little O-ring that kind of seals them, and they literally just push in and you can pull out the old ones. So I'm going to go ahead and swap in the 110s and we'll get going. Alright, quick update. Again, I got the carbs done, so I got the jets all on those. Those are ready to go. And we'll throw those on here in just a little bit later. But what I've kind of started working on now is cleaning up the tail section. So as you can see, I shaved off all the unneeded brackets and all that kind of stuff and kind of grind it down smooth. I did decide to change it up a little bit. I wasn't going to do a hoop in the back, but kind of messing around with it and putting the seat on there and stuff, I think it's going to look best with it. So I actually just ordered one. It should be here in a week or so, and I can show you guys how to put those on. It's pretty easy. I'll basically be cutting it off probably about right here, and you'll see that this tube right here goes all the way to kind of right about here where it starts to pinch in a little bit. So if you cut this off, you can actually see that tube in there. You can match up kind of the hoop that I'm going to get, and then I'll just make sure the length is right to fit nice and kind of flush under the back of the seat. I also ordered a tail light, which is a strip of LEDs that I'm actually going to put in probably into the hoop itself. I don't think I want to just stick it on because I think that probably wouldn't look great. So I'm going to maybe like cut out a nice thin section of the rear tube and kind of inset the LED strip into that, and that does do the turn signals and stuff as well. You can see I start to tear down a little bit of the electronics to figure out exactly how I want to build that battery box and how much room I need for it. I did get a battery for it. So I picked this tiny battery up. It's the smallest one I could find that's going to have enough power to run the starter. At least, we'll see. Hopefully it will. It's also a sealed, non-spillable battery too, so I could probably mount it somewhere around here. Kind of basically just want it to look as clean as possible. I don't want a huge box hanging down here because that kind of defeats the purpose of trying to clean this thing up in the first place. Let's see. Other update, I decided to, since I'm doing clip-ons, I decided to shave off the top side of my triple tree, I guess it's called. So I actually just mounted this up into my vise here, took my angle grinder and carefully just cut each one of these tabs off. This is actually one of them right here. So that's where the old handlebars would have mounted. So I cut those off and then ground it smooth and then threw a coat of paint on it, and I think it turned out pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, but no part of this bike is perfect, so I think it looks a lot better than just having these kind of empty handlebar mounts that aren't going to be used on there. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and what I think I might even do is run the lights for neutral light and oil pressure and that kind of stuff into these holes because it's open through the backside. So if I run a light into each one of these holes, I may be able to figure out a way to make it look nice and clean, and then I'll be able to see those lights without having some big ugly kind of cluster on top. So I may or may not do that, just kind of depending on how difficult it is and how much time I want to spend doing it. But that's kind of the current update right now. So I got the front end back together. Looks pretty good. Be working on that rear hoop when it comes in, and also building that electronics tray, and I'll take you guys along the way.